Welcome to Main Look Podcast. I'm your host, A. Nicole, and we are here for another episode in the mental health series. This is a show where we talk about real life situations, the type of situations that make you say, man, look, okay? And it's Valentine's Day weekend. Whoo, that's a doozy for some of us. Some of us it's easy breezy. And so the title is Relationships. I do, I don't. We're going to talk about all of the in-between, whether we do, we don't, we will, we might, and heck no, never, ever, I will not. I have some special guests with me, and I'm super excited. I'm going to introduce them. For those of you on YouTube, you can see them, but those of you who are subscribing through Anchor or Spotify, you have no clue what they look like. So I suggest you head your tail over to YouTube and like, share, and subscribe, okay? Main Look Podcast. And not Main like Main Street, okay? Don't be corny, don't be lame. Like Maine, Memphis, Maine, M-A-N-E, Look Podcast. All right, so we got Mr. Tim Tucker. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, Saints, how y'all doing, people? I'm sorry, y'all doing all right? I am Tim Tucker. I'm from Batesville, Mississippi, known as Sapanola. I went to Sapanola High School, the University of Sapanola. I'm sorry, who was known for football and still known. But yeah, that is me, Tim Tucker.
Look, I call him Bishop, which I don't know. That's my brother. Then I got my best friend, my ride or die, my road dog. I'm talking about we've been down since Nino Brown. That's real.
Jumped off the
anyway, Angela Caston, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, hello, people out there. I am Angela Caston. I am from Memphis, Tennessee, currently residing in Arlington, Texas, DFW, simply on the word of the Lord. Hallelujah. I went to school and everything in Memphis, Overton High, the Performing Arts School, Watkins Overton High. And yeah, I've been knowing Ashley since forever. I don't even remember when we met. That's how long it's been. So I am she is me.
Exactly. Well, I'm so grateful for you all to be here. I'm super excited and a little nervous because I'm probably going to be real vulnerable and share some things that the whole world don't know, because everybody want to talk about dating. Okay, so just to clarify, we're gonna get right into it. So I'm single, I'm over 30.
Hey, you too loud.
Mind your business. I'm over 30. Okay. Angela, you're married. How long?
It'll be 12 years in May.
Woo! 12 years. She's also over 30. Mind your business. Tim Dreekins, are you single, dating? We ain't talking a while.
I'm sorry, I am dating, but yet looking.
That's hot.
I'm in the hunting season, as you.
We gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that. That's a whole thing.
I am very excited about this.
Listen, I got the hunting season. I like that. Wait a minute. Okay, and you are in what age bracket? Because that's important. You don't have to be your exact age.
I am 24 years old. I'm good.
And look good, okay? Hello. And, ladies, y'all heard them? Ladies, I vouch for this one. I don't vouch for a lot, but I vouch for this one. Okay, so you brought up something, the hunting season. And it's so crazy. This is how I know the Lord is on this thing. One of the questions I received from a subscriber was, why do women always wait for the man to initiate anything? Why don't they just put themselves out there? So Tim, you a man. Do you agree with it? Do you even agree with this question? Do you feel like you want a woman to at least let you know something, or tell me your perspective?
I'm okay with a woman letting me know what they like and what they want, but I don't want a woman running after me. I don't want you to chase me down. That's a turn off to me.
Okay.
I am old fashioned. I want to go after you. And so don't make it too complicated for me, but I'm afraid to it, but I'm one of those that like to go and look for my wife and allow the Lord to lead me into the woman and who he has desired for me to be with. Yes, he do give us the desires of our heart. That means he give us what we want or what we wish for, but sometimes our desires don't match with his desire. So I want to make sure that if that lady or that woman of God that I'm looking at is the right one that's going to help me produce the fruit and to operate in my calling the way God wants me to operate in the nation. I want to make sure I do it well, and she's with me, doing it with me, and also not only just to be selfish, but I want to push her into her true identity and calling that God has for her. So.
Listen, you said something that is so key. You said that I'm looking for a lady, no, a woman of God who is going to help me do what I'm trying to do and stay in God's will. And I want to clarify for everybody who, everybody ain't there. So in the Bible, it talks about a woman being a helpmeet, right? A helpmate, however you want, whatever the translation you looked at. We talked about translations before, but our position, and I'm gonna answer this question too, and I'm gonna tell you what I actually answered this one, baby. Y'all know that was I was guns loaded. Oh, I got the answer for you. Because the reality is, what you said is true. Making ourselves available, right? Meaning not being a hermit. You got to put yourself out there. Now with Corona, it's a little difficult. Let's be real. We can't just go out and be present like we used to. But social media is there. I can't stand social media. But if I want to be seen and let it be known that, hey, I am open to this, then I have to have a presence, right? But I told this person, I was like, well, what do you mean by why a woman don't always come? Are you just referring to asking on a date? Are you referring to the establishing the relationship? What you referring to? Because that question, honestly, if you think about the background behind the motive, probably what the person was intending, and I'm not talking about this specific person, but just in general, because I've heard this question before, they really saying, why I got to do everything? Because, we on this whole kick, you know how these new age people is. Why I got to do everything? It's supposed to be 50-50. Why she can't come after me? Why she can't pay for a date? Blah, 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 bullcrap. So this the thing, okay? We can do all of that. We absolutely can. But I'm like you, Tim, I'm old school. You need to be courting me. Then you show me that you're worthy of me saying, I got this, babe. I'll pay for this. Or, hey, what about going to the movies this Friday? This is after we've already established that you are now courting me. Now, I'm not against any woman that say, hey, I'm going after mine, because it don't work for some. But as for me in my house, we ain't doing it, bro. It ain't.
And another thing I want to add to that is very, I take it as if the man is showing the first initial, that is showing the woman that he has the courage to take the lead of the relationship.
Courage.
So that is something for me that I guess in my childhood, where I was always felt intimidated by a woman, until now I'm stepping into this manhood what God has called me to step into. It's giving me the courage to go to go out for that woman and show her, yeah, I have what it takes to lead you into the right direction. So,
Angela, we ain't gonna leave you out. Let me tell you something, and that's exactly what I told him. I don't want no punk. If you ain't got enough gumption, I'm trying to use some good words. I don't want to talk how I'm talking. To come after me and approach me, because that's what I told the person. I said, you'll be surprised. I don't get asked out. Angela know this. I think I talked to you about it too. I don't get asked out. And if people be like, for real? Yeah, because they scared. I hear you look stuck up, because I ask questions. I'm intimidated. You got too much going on. You got it going on for yourself. They assume I'm with somebody. And then the ones who do have the courage, why is it always the ones that got the courage? It ain't nobody ready. Had a girl in a car at the gas station. Y'all, I'll never forget. I was in the gas station paying for gas, and dude was on the phone with his friend, telling his friend how he dodged his girl all weekend. Then proceeded to say, "Man, this girl in front of me so fine. Can I get your number?" I said, "I just heard you. Absolutely not. Don't waste my time." The dude that was paying for gas was cracking up. Now, Angela, you married, and I know your story. We're gonna talk about it because I love to brag about your story. But what is your take on that? Even once you get into a relationship and being pursued.
Well, first of all, let me say, when Tim said lead, it was the lead for me. Okay, like to be honest, I think if women are, I'm gonna say most, I can't speak for everybody, of course, but if we're really honest with ourselves, we want to be led by a strong man. We want a manly person. We want someone to take the lead. We want to follow. That is attractive
Be like, come on, get in this car. Yes, okay.
That is sexy. Okay, tell me what to do. Sit down. Okay.
Okay. How you
leave? And I think I really think because at the same time I'm a take care of it myself type girl too. But that I think that comes in handy during certain seasons and certain situations. Not all the time. I guess I'm old school too. I remember my husband now, back when we were dating, he knew I liked him, but he wouldn't call me. So they were saying, call him. And I'm like, nope. He know me. He know what I look like. Well, he better call me or we ain't gonna talk. Just because I didn't want to, I thought, this is me personally, and I'm not saying this to nobody else, but for me, it was maybe a little sign of desperation. Me going after a man and just being so forward.
Yeah.
I like to be mysterious, and I like to be pursued. And honestly, my husband said he liked to chase me. I wasn't easy. I didn't blow his phone up. So I don't know. We're honest. I think we want a man to take the lead, but you know, every situation is different. Every couple is different.
No, that is the truth, and that was the other part. Look, I told you I had time when this question got asked. I was like, when you are, and I'm a woman, and I'm a strong woman like you. I'm a single mother, so obviously there are some areas that I have to take charge that I wouldn't like to, but I have to, right? So it would be nice to have a relationship where there's one space where I ain't gotta be in charge, where I can just be the woman, to be taken care of, to be sought after, to be loved, to be, you want to. I'm into Chinese dramas right now. I know y'all probably don't look at them, but any of my viewers who do, them men. Listen, the way they look at they lady, can't nothing come near them. You understand what I'm saying? You know they in love, and that's what I'm desiring out of a relationship. Hence, why I'm single. Because the other question was, why are you single? That's a loaded question, and the reason for me was I refuse to settle. I just refuse. I believe that what God has for me is amazing. It's gonna blow my mind. And even if that means me having some lonely nights, even if that means me having some impatient days, that means me sleeping in this big old California king by myself, then that's what it means. Because I'd rather do that than be suffering in a relationship. I seen a meme earlier today, and they was like, well, let me get my popcorn for all these people pretending that their toxic relationship is happy. And it's like, that's the truth though. These folk out here, they finna be posting all of their little trips and all of the money that they ain't got and all this, and they fighting like, who, why? Like, what is the reason? In my Cardi B voice, what was the reason? Like, what's the point? I ain't gonna do it. So Tim, I ask you, I know you said you are dating, you in the hunt. I will forever be using it. Hunt. Listen, you in the hunt, but what was your reasoning? Because I know you weren't always in hunting season. There was a time when you were waiting. What was the reason?
I'm still in the waiting, but also in the hunting. Let me just say that. Most definitely, I wanted to make sure I am mature enough to handle being the head, taking lead, making sure I am emotionally healthy to take the lead. I feel like many times people rush into a relationship or rush into a commitment and not emotionally ready or not emotionally stable. So I wanted to make sure I'm emotionally stable and also financially stable, to where I can be the provider, not only the provider, but provide for you in your emotions where you may be weak, or also be I know all of that comes along, and you don't have to make sure all of that is ready right then and there. I know that's something that God will build on in the process, but that is just something that I know. The reason why I have been single and not been ready to go and find someone yet. I also wanted to make sure I know who I am first before I get in a relationship, knowing what I like and what I dislike, what vexes me and what pleases me, and knowing how to control myself when faced with different conflicts that sometimes with sometimes anger, you lash out real quick, and I don't want to be that type of person in a relationship. I want to make sure I know how to come to you correctly and respect you when we are faced with conflict. So that is something that I most definitely want to work on. I don't want to be in a relationship where I frighten my helpmeet when I lash out or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's vital now that everybody, if you're single and you're in a hunting season, get a counselor. You want to get that. You all of it. You want to get all of that together. You want to know how to handle conflicts when it comes up.
How to love you.
How to love you, yes, and stuff like that. So it's very important. So that's one reason why I'm single now, but I'm still hunting. So yeah.
So Angela, let me ask you this. Somebody who's been married now 12 years, my God, it seemed like it was yesterday, for real. I remember prom, like for real. But what advice would you give to somebody who is engaged? They're not dating, they're engaged. They'll be married any day now, and they have all these expectations, right? Because we have them. What advice would you give them to be able to handle, when those expectations aren't met in a real marriage? Because that's what happens.
That is absolutely the truth. Well, I think it's okay to have expectations, and that you should discuss those with your soon-to-be, and having a good understanding of what that person expects as well. Like, don't just voice yours and that be all. Like, you need to understand what they expect. But the most important thing is to ask yourself, is it realistic? Because the truth is, you can't control how someone else acts. You can't control how they feel about you now, and how they may feel about you in 5 years. And people change their minds. So I think, to be honest, I think the less expectations you have, the better, because you literally grow up with this person that you're marrying. Whether you're marrying at 30, whether you're marrying at 19 or 40, y'all are going to grow together. And who you are now is probably not going to be who you are in 5 years or in 10 years. So make them realistic. And how about y'all set some expectations for yourself for the future? And don't hold so tight to them, because disappointment kind of happens when those expectations that you set yourself are not met.
And you didn't communicate. And I feel like, again, the time we're in, right, social media, reality TV is playing a huge role in how people view relationships. And it's unfortunate because most of us, let's be real, do not have the money that some people have, okay? Let's just talk about it. We don't. And most of us will never be, I shouldn't say never, but we don't even have the aspirations to be where they are as far as, what they did to get this money. So when you go in and you're expecting all these elaborate vacations and these expensive gifts, and your man, and Tim, I'm not trying to down you, but like Tim said, he's still building. So you meet a man in the building process, but loves you and is a good man, but you downing and dogging him because he just can't do it. He literally isn't capable right now. Now that don't mean he won't ever be able to. It's just that's not where he is. And it's just unfortunate that so many men and women do this. It ain't just women who are gold diggers. It's men too. It's men too. And so I think, again, coming back to this mental health series, and we're talking about being mentally whole, right? Doing the work to deal with the traumas. And you mentioned it, Tim, the triggers, finding out what makes you tick. Because the reality is, whatever, I heard this from, I don't even remember who I heard it from. But I remember hearing this, that whatever is wrong with you before marriage, it will magnify 20 times in marriage. So if you're somebody who has a short fuse when things aren't put in a certain place, and you marry somebody who is junky, you love them now. They know what to say, they know how to move, they smell good, but that joker don't clean up for nothing. That's a trigger. And you gonna be ready to fight because the toothpaste cap is next to the sink versus on the toothpaste. You know what I mean? Or like, for me, I've been single a long time, and so I often pray about, God, help me to learn to share my space, because it's been just me. I can put stuff where I want it. I can, and I organize things. I'm a basket person. Everything got a space, and when it's moved out of that space, I know, and I flip out. So I'm trying to work on that. Because my husband might get here and give two craps about a basket. He might get here and say, I don't even want none of the basket. Let's get a new house. What am I, dealing with that stuff prior to, or even, this is the one I hear often. A lot of spouses don't like the way their other spouse eats. That's funny to me. You don't think about that when you single, right? That how you eat. Because I know how I eat.
You can't stand when people smack. I just can't stand it.
Guess what? Your girl's a smacker. What he gonna do?
Sure is. She is. Put it on mute, Ashley, please.
And they don't care. I mean, I don't care. I don't care about my smacking, because if it's good, baby,
You smacking.
I'm smacking. And I'm jigging. I do the food dance. I've been doing this since I was 2. If that thing be good, I'd be like, yes. And that night annoyed the crap out of me.
Yeah.
So I just think I think that's a great point. Counseling, we talked about last week. Not last week, I always say that. Last episode, when I was discussing loneliness, and it's important to have somebody outside of your friends and family, which that's good too. But you need, if you got some serious traumas, meaning you've been molested, you've been raped, and you've been, I don't know, homeless, whatever. And that's the other thing I learned too personally. What trauma is to me might not be trauma to you. Because I used to downplay some of the things I experienced because it wasn't what I viewed as like bad. And so hence I didn't get any help. And that stuff was festering just as if some of the quote unquote things I call bad. So I do think it's super important. Okay, so I want to ask this question. It's a little silly, to be honest, but I really want to know. Angela, you're married. Tim, you're single just like me. So you don't necessarily have this experience, Angela, but at one point you did. What advice do we give those? It's Valentine's Day weekend. We lonely, some of us. I deal with mine, okay? But some of us are lonely. But, urges don't go nowhere. Hello? This is the time when all of the people remember your number. Hey, big head. Hey, stranger. At 3 o'clock in the morning.
In the name of Jesus.
But
Loose
seriously,
me and let my number go.
Let it go.
Seriously though, what do we do? What do we do? Let me tell you, I'm gonna give practical life application. We ain't got but 10 minutes, so I'm gonna make it quick. What I do is I literally will, and sometimes it's different. Sometimes I cut my phone off. Sometimes I put it on Do Not Disturb. Or if I am okay in that area, I put on some worship music. I get out my Bible. I have affirmations that I've written down for myself all over. Y'all like my sitting? Y'all can't see it, but all over my mirror. And I remind myself that I'm worth the wait. I remind myself that 1 second of pleasure will not be a lifetime of hell for me. I remind myself that my good thing is on the way. I remind myself, and I'm gonna tell you, after I do those scriptures, that don't mean that them urges done disappear, but they have, what I did was I refocused my mind to be in control of my body, because the reality is I have control. I have discipline. And then if I need to get up and go take a shower, I do that. If I want to get me some ice cream, I do that. Sometimes I got kids, so I go wake my kids up. I've done it, y'all. I wake them jokers up and be like, play with me. Like, we finna come on. We finna play Sims. We finna play a board. They be looking at me like, Mom, for real? Yep, come on. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, because what it is, you gotta snap the mind into remembering, because if you just sit there, I've heard people say this, well, I just try to go to sleep, you close your eyes. Well, guess what? You ain't trained your eyeballs. So every image that you looked at that was associated to that person or that time period of your life, the devil is gonna bring it back. And you gonna remember if you watch porno, all of it coming back in that moment.
But sometimes the devil will use that fragrance to bring back to you, to remind you of the scent of that person. Oh yeah.
Oh my.
You sure enough ain't never lied. Cause I have been in the store and be like, wait a minute now. Now I know that smell. I said, oh geez, get me home.
Exactly.
You ain't lying though. He will use anything.
Yeah, but one thing for me, I had to remind myself: is that soul tie worth it? My soul cannot be in no entanglement or Listen, I hate soul ties, ungodly soul ties. I hate them because I remember the position it put me in. I don't want to be. I have always prayed Lord, allow me to never be in another entanglement, whether it's just emotional entanglement or just sex. I don't want to be involved with those, because it brings so much discouragement. Not only that, but it brings doubt against your womanhood or manhood, and that's something that I don't want to have to experience again. So it's something that I remind myself: is the soul tie worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth your peace? Is it worth your joy? That is something that I'm just not. I'm not going to lose anymore. I refuse to lose, and so that is something.
You was born to win.
Yes, born to win. Listen, hey, watch yourself.
So Angela, okay, you're married, but I've heard a lot of married people and we got, watch the time. I've heard a lot of married people struggle with intimacy. What would be your advice for somebody who does struggle in that area, meaning they are so used to self-pleasuring. Now they're in a marriage and they have no clue how to connect. But the husband or the wife is like, but I'm here and I want you.
That's deep. Ooh, that's so different from what y'all was talking about. But read a book. Okay, no, forget it. That needs to be addressed way before Valentine's Day. Way before a special thing or a situation that's happening that reminds you or you struggling at that. That requires some counseling, I believe, because if you're used to doing that and then you have a difficulty connecting with your husband, that's so much more deeper than me going and making myself busy. It's and that's a real good stronghold. But for those who, I don't know, don't understand what stronghold is or really ain't into the spiritual aspect of it all, it affects it affects the depth of the connection you have with your spouse. And I think it would be worthwhile getting some help, getting that fixed.
And that was counseling session. That was my point, because I think a lot of people continue to try self-help with deeper situations. It's more than just I'm trying to avoid a booty call. It's more than I'm trying to, not go back to some old relationship. This is a relationship that you've had with yourself for a long time. And it's going to require some real, a therapist, their job, y'all help me out. The word just went away. That them people, their purpose is to help you. They ask the right questions to get you to think, to help break down the start of these traumas and figure out what led to keep and build this relationship. So I agree. It sounds like ultimately, before marriage in 2021, you might want to look into some therapy.
Absolutely.
Get on the couch. Okay?
Absolutely.
Deliverance is fine. But if you have not done the necessary work to maintain, and we've talked about deliverance, audience, y'all are familiar with the term, but meaning being free, you've heard the term stronghold, you've heard soul tie. All those things just simply mean you have made a connection and a tie with something that is out of the will of God. And it might not even be that it's out of the will of God. It could be human, but it's just not the one for you. Right. And if it's anything that's going against what he has designed for you, that is a soul tie. And you need to sever it. And this is how you can identify them, right? Let's give them some life application. That thing that you keep finding yourself going back to, you have no clue why you can't stop. You just keep, and it could be a person, place, or thing. You just don't understand. You just feel drawn. You feel like in Bridgerton, he said, I burned for you. Whew. Can we talk about it? I'm sorry. My bad. But you find, I'm back, Ashley.
You is from T. Do you hear me?
I'm back. They feel themselves drawn to this person or this thing. Baby, that's a soul tie.
That's a soul tie.
It's going to require prayer. It's going to require faith. And then once it gets cut, you have to believe it's cut. And you got to move on. Well, listen here. I enjoyed y'all.
I enjoyed you. This was very good.
We're going to do a round two because the time was too short. We're going to do round two.
Can I just say sometimes cold showers don't help.
Hello.
I'm a witness.
So like you said, you need to get you a therapist. Go lay on somebody's couch. You need somebody that's going to listen to you and talk to you. And,
some of them don't need to lay on the couch. Some of them need to lay on the floor. The couch is a trigger.
And the floor is a trigger.
Okay. All right. Listen, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Just the child, you know, some of these folks listen, okay.
Round two. We're gonna do round two. Y'all want round two? We're gonna do round two. I want to thank Tim Driekus, Tucker, and Angela Caston. Y'all be sure to look them up. They are both on Instagram. Tim is a preaching machine. Angela is a psalmist, which I didn't know. She is working on an album. That thing gonna be amazing. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Main Look Podcast. We on Spotify. We on Apple Tunes. We on Anchor. We on YouTube. We all over the place. Again, this is a show. We have real conversations and the stuff that make you say, man, look. Okay? I hope that you all enjoyed this. I look forward to speaking to you all again.